everyone, welcome to this video. So today's video is about how I eat intuitively, and I just wanted to take you through one of my days so you can see how I, as an intuitive eater, approach eating. So I'm going to take you with me and show you my day. And I will say, I have never vlogged before, and I actually found it to be really difficult and sort of annoying, and I didn't super enjoy the process of carrying a camera around with me all day. But I also think that this is just my first time doing a vlog style video, so bear with me. The lighting's all over the place. I do an interview with my sister later on and I'm out of focus the whole time, and a plethora of other things. No transitions either, so it's all good. I am taking it as it is. This is raw and real, so keep that in mind. I still hope you guys enjoy it, and all I'm gonna say is I tried my best. Another thing I want to say is this really is just one day of me eating intuitively. Please take it with a grain of salt. I truly eat differently every single day, and also I know that the food that I ate was nothing fancy, and sometimes I cook really extravagant meals and sometimes I just pull out whatever is in the fridge. So today was sort of an example of me having to work all day and get a lot of things done, so I sort of just ate what was convenient, and that's probably what I do most of the time, honestly. But again, I don't measure anything, I don't track anything, so don't look at this and think, oh, if she's eating those exact things, like that's what I need to be eating. No, I eat different amounts every day. I eat different types of foods every day. Some days I don't even have any vegetables. It really just depends. So regardless of all of that, I hope you enjoy it. It's been fun editing it. It was fun making it, I'm not gonna lie. I learned a lot, so maybe if I do vlogs in the future, I'll be a little more prepped and aware. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. But otherwise, enjoy the video. Let's go see what I eat in a day as an intuitive eater. What up? I just woke up. So the first thing I do in the morning is I have some coffee, and then I do a little workout because I can't work out with food in my stomach, so I just try to get it done in the morning when my stomach is empty. And I have officially quit caffeine again. I'm still in the midst of getting over the withdrawal symptoms, so that's been really fun, but we are caffeine free, so I'm happy about that. I'm actually sleeping again, which is nice. So I'll show you how I make my little coffee in the morning. So this is my super fancy decaf coffee. I don't brew decaf coffee fresh because my mom drinks normal coffee and we have one coffee maker, so it's just easier if I have the instant stuff. This is the creamer I found in the fridge, so it looks pretty good. I'm gonna use it. Nothing like the real stuff, but it'll do. Okay, the lighting's slightly awful in here, but I just finished my workout, and I want to say that if you are still struggling with your relationship with exercise, that is totally fine. It took me so long to finally get to a place where it's not coming from a disordered place. So I had to take a lot of breaks. I had to play around with certain regimens and kind of see what works for me. I kind of do a mixture of everything now. I do running, weightlifting, walking, whatever honestly feels good, rollerblading, and I just try to make it really fun. And I can do a whole separate video about how to heal your relationship with exercise, but just know that if it's something you're struggling with, it's all good, and it does take time. So anyways, usually after I work out, I like to have some oatmeal, and I looked in the pantry. So this is the oatmeal we have right now. I don't hate it. I actually only exclusively ate plain oatmeal for a long time. But then I tried this maple and brown sugar oatmeal that I really like, and I don't know, I was always like a plain oatmeal person and I would just add stuff on top of it, but this oatmeal is so freaking good. I know this is slightly ridiculous, but I'm gonna drive to the store and buy this oatmeal right now because I want it so badly. I would never like do this every single day. Like if I am craving something and we just don't have it, I'll make do with something else. But the store's only like 2 minutes away. I'm gonna go get it and you guys are coming with me. Okay, so to be completely honest, I have never vlogged before and I'm kind of nervous about taking my phone and vlogging inside the store, but alas, we are doing it. You guys ever try to put on a mask with one hand? Oh, sick. And then sometimes I will also have like a protein shake. Not always, but this morning I did lift, so couldn't hurt to have some extra protein. So I normally mix this with a fork because otherwise it stays super chunky and gross. So normally if I'm having plain oatmeal, I will add in like peanut butter and chocolate chips and banana, but because this oatmeal is already so sweet, I just add peanut butter. I don't know if that sounds weird, but I think it's bomb. So I don't know, maybe you should try it. Please look at this goddess of a jar of peanut butter. So I used to measure out my peanut butter because I used to think that the serving size they say on the label is what I was supposed to have and I couldn't have any more than that. But now I don't care. I don't measure it because it kind of drove me crazy to be measuring it all the time. So we're not measuring our peanut butter anymore. I'm gonna put however much looks good, and sometimes I eat it and I leave some, sometimes I eat all of it. So it really just depends on how full I feel and how satisfied I feel. Before I eat each meal, I just try to take a couple deep breaths because it really helps calm my nerves, because a lot of times I'll be anxious before I eat, and what happens is I'll eat the food and then I end up actually not feeling full afterwards because I don't get the emotional satisfaction. If I'm anxious while I'm eating, it's like my brain's not even there while I'm eating, so when I'm done, my brain's like, we didn't even eat just now, we're still hungry, like we aren't emotionally satisfied. You need the emotional satisfaction, so get present with your food, calm your nerves, and that will also help your body digest food better and get more nutrients out of the food because you're calming that nervous system and it can focus more on digesting rather than focusing on feeling anxious. Okay, so it's only like 8:10 and I just finished breakfast about half an hour ago and I still feel hungry. So normally I'm not hungry for a snack till a little bit later, but I can tell I just need more food this morning. So I'm gonna have a snack now, and I don't care what time it is. You know, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Those times are arbitrary. The reason why we have like 3 meals a day started because of farmers, but that's not necessarily how we have to eat. Our body doesn't care what time it is. Of course, you know, some people like need that structure, but because I do have a really flexible lifestyle, I just kind of eat whenever I'm hungry. And if you don't have a flexible lifestyle, one tip I have for you is just carry snacks with you wherever you go, like little granola bars, fruit snacks, crackers, like whatever it is, beef jerky, and just keep it in your bag, in your purse, because then when hunger strikes, you can just have a little snack, and it's an easy way to make sure that you're really eating intuitively. So I'm gonna go have some chips and hummus because I know that that sounds really good to me. I know that's gonna be satisfying and filling, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I can get started on my workday. Aww. Okay, so taking a break from my eating, I wanted to answer this question that I get a lot, and that is, do I have to eat breakfast? Because what if I get up and the sound of food just sounds absolutely repulsive? And this is a really good question. So I know quite a few people who have a really healthy relationship with food and are intuitive eaters, and they cannot eat as soon as they get up. They have to wait at least a few hours until their body feels ready. And so my answer to this question is it's all contextual. I'm really curious, like, what is your relationship with food? And is it really that you don't want breakfast, or are you avoiding breakfast in order to skip a meal? So if you have a healthy relationship with food and you've learned to eat intuitively, and you're at the point where you can really trust your body and your body can trust you, then I would say it's fine if you aren't hungry as soon as you get up. What that means is that you're just gonna have to eat more food later. For me personally, I'm hungry as soon as I wake up. So I actually don't eat breakfast right away because I like to work out in the morning, and it's kind of the only time I can work out. Otherwise, I feel sick. Like, I can't work out with any food in my stomach, and then I eat breakfast like right away. But if you're still learning to intuitively eat and you're finding that you just aren't getting hunger cues, you really need to make sure you're having 3 meals and 3 snacks a day just to get structure, just to get your hormone levels regular, to get your body back to its healthy state. Because once you do that, then you can actually start eating intuitively, and you might find that once you're in that place, you don't actually want to eat breakfast, and maybe you're just that kind of person. Or you'll find that you are hungry as soon as you get up. But really, you just need to be making sure you're getting enough food throughout the day. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer, but be honest with yourself and don't try to use this as an excuse to skip breakfast. Really ask yourself, like, do I have a healthy relationship with food? Am I at the point where I do know how to eat intuitively? And if yes, then sure, you can wait till you feel good enough to eat breakfast. But if you're still in the beginning stages of recovery, you do absolutely have to eat breakfast. That is just part of it. It's part of getting your body regular again and getting your body used to eating regular meals throughout the day. Another thing is you need to pay attention to not only your hunger cues, but your energy levels, which is just another form of a cue. So I know sometimes there are days where I'm not necessarily hungry as soon as I get up, but I know for a fact if I don't eat breakfast within like an hour of waking up, my energy levels completely deplete. My blood sugar goes crazy. So from like a self-care aspect, I know, okay, I know I'm always gonna eat breakfast because I've observed what happens when I don't, and it's not pretty. So for me, I definitely always will eat breakfast for that reason. So just a reminder to pay attention to not only your hunger cues as far as like, is my stomach growling, but there's a plethora of other hunger cues. Sometimes my vision like will get foggy if I haven't eaten in a while, and that's related to blood sugar. Pay attention to your energy levels. Pay attention to like the cravings you have. Pay attention to what food you're thinking about. So there's all these little things that take practice and time to really tune into, but just know that hunger cues aren't just, is my stomach growling? There's all these other factors you need to pay attention to as well. I just got off a client call, and usually after client calls, I have like a drop in blood sugar because I feel like I exert so much energy talking during those calls that afterwards I'm like, okay, I just need like a little pick-me-up. So grabbed an apple, having an apple for a snack, and now I'm gonna get back to some work. All right, I was about to go for a walk and I was gonna come back and make lunch after my walk, but I realized I absolutely can't wait. My blood sugar is once again super low, so I'm gonna make lunch right now. So I'm basically just gonna be making a salad. So I'll take one of these like mixing bowls and I'll just throw a bunch of random crap in there and mix it all up and eat it for lunch. So we're gonna do that. We'll see what's in the fridge. Hopefully we can come up with something good. I also made these banana muffins a while ago. As you can see, it's kind of frozen, so I'm gonna heat one of these up and have it with my salad. It'll probably look more appetizing once it's not frozen anymore. Also, I have a tripod. I don't know why I'm not using it. Instead, I'm just awkwardly leaning on the counter so I can get down to the level of the camera. It's fine. All right, let's see what we got in the fridge. So we got some cabbage, gonna add in some spinach, cherry tomatoes. This is a chili lime coleslaw that I made. Walnuts, olives. Okay, doing this with one hand is absolutely impossible. Okay, and then I just cut up some lunch meat and some red onion. And lastly, I just have the Caesar dressing. All right, and then I essentially just mix this all up and call it good. Okay, I'm trying to mix this with one hand so I can film. As you can see, it's not going well. So I'll show you guys after it's done being mixed. This is quite honestly the most random ass salad I've ever made, but it's super good. I think like kitchen sink salads are my go-to, and they always turn out to be so good because you end up mixing foods and flavors that you normally wouldn't, and you kind of come up with some cool combinations. So right now I'm watching Netflix while I'm eating, and I don't normally watch TV while I eat, but sometimes I do, and I'm trying to learn about World War II right now, and I'm really into this series on Netflix, so I'm gonna eat my salad while I watch TV. Okay, I just got back from my walk, and I was thinking, I'm curious to talk to somebody who has been an intuitive eater their entire lives, has never really fallen into dieting, and I was like, ooh, I know the perfect person, my little sister Lucy. So I'm gonna go see if she's willing to do an interview with me, and maybe that'll help get some insight on what it's like to be an intuitive eater having no history of extreme dieting. Hey Lucy, are you down for an interview?
Of course.
Sounds good. Okay, dude, so I wanted to ask you some questions because my video today is about how I eat intuitively, and you are one of the few people I know that's an intuitive eater. Would you identify as an intuitive eater?
What's that mean?
So intuitive eating is like, do you eat based on like what your body tells you? Like, do you just eat when you're hungry and then you stop when you feel satisfied?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then I'm curious, like, have you ever tried any diets before, or do you feel like you've always eaten intuitively?
I mean, like, I've wanted to try them before, but like, I've never like done it.
What has stopped you from trying diets?
Me being kind of lazy, and then like, I don't want to make like mom buy certain foods or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And what has been your motivation to want to try them?
Me being in sports, I've always been told like maybe one of the reasons I'm not like getting better is because of the way I'm eating, and if I eat better plus all the exercise I'm doing in my sports, that'll like help me.
Oh, okay, so it's coming from like you want to be able to do your sport better.
Yeah, and like I want to be more fit, but like I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. How do you decide when to eat?
Well, so like I don't have like a set time I want to eat. I usually eat when I'm hungry, because if I don't, it's not like I'll be in a bad mood or anything. I just like feel better if I eat when I'm hungry.
Okay, and is that like energy levels, or like you just don't like feeling hungry in general?
Yeah, I don't really like feeling hungry. But I also don't eat if I'm not hungry, because like I don't know. I honestly just like eat when I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do you decide what you want to eat?
Whatever sounds good. If I see something I like want, it could honestly be whatever. Even if I'm like, I don't know, I had that like a few days in a row and it doesn't seem that healthy, I still am like, it sounds good, so I'm gonna eat it.
A lot of people I work with also struggle with knowing what to eat, and they kind of overthink it all the time instead of just like thinking, oh, what sounds good? What thoughts go through your head when you're deciding what to eat?
Honestly, I do think about like, is this like the best for me to be putting into my body? Like, I don't want to be eating like obviously bad all the time, like whatever you consider that as. Like, if it's gonna make me feel sick because like of whatever's in it, like I'm not gonna eat it. But like, there's nothing really like, is it healthy, that like goes through my head. I think it's just whatever sounds good to me. Yeah.
Do you ever find that like you crave, because obviously you crave things like you like taquitos. I also know you like broccoli. Like I made baked broccoli the other night. And you thought that was good.
I love baked broccoli.
So I'm just wondering, like, do you ever feel like you crave like fruits and vegetables, and then also like?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like just you crave like everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, if I'm in the mood for it, it could literally be anything. I'll eat it.
Yeah. So that's super interesting, because so many of you guys are afraid that you will only crave the foods that have been off limits for you for so long. Like you're only gonna crave like breads and chips and ice cream. But looking at someone who does eat intuitively, she craves everything across the board. Like, she craves variety, and that's exactly how our bodies work. Case study in point right here. Oh yeah, another question I have is dieting common with your friends? Well, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 14.
Okay.
So I've known people, and it's more like dietary, like they're vegetarian or something. It's never like they're on an actual diet. It's honestly just their choice. Like my friend Avery, she's vegetarian. Like that's totally her choice. It's not like she like forces herself to do that to like lose weight or whatever she wants. It's honestly good to her, and like that's how she's been raised.
Yeah.
But like my best friend, she was like honestly has been put on diets before. I think that was her stepmom's choice instead of mostly hers.
Yeah.
But I don't think she really like cared about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Not super common among your friends.
Not that I know of, yeah.
Yeah. So as someone who kind of knew me when I was, or you did know me, when I was going through like eating disorder stuff, obviously I didn't like tell you guys about it when it was going on, but I'm curious like if you noticed anything like looking back that you can pick up on. If not, it's okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've thought about this since you've started your coaching journey. There was a few times where we would be in the kitchen and you'd be like eating cereal or something. She's like, you're like, if you catch me eating this again, tell me not to.
Oh, I do remember saying that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no,
I never told you not to. Like,
bless up to you.
Yeah, I would watch her and I'm like, she looks like she's really enjoying that. I'm not gonna tell her to not eat it again.
I was really enjoying it.
So yeah, you would like be shoving your mouth while I'm like, I'm just not gonna tell her to not. It's like, yeah. So that's like
funny.
one key thing. Remember, there's a few times we'd like go out to dinner. Like you like El Toro a lot, and when we lived at that one house, we were like the green one. We'd go there a lot because it was like close by. And you would always be like, Mom would always be like, do you want like fajitas or something? And you're like, no, I want to get a salad. And I would always be like, why is she always getting salads?
She doesn't want a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would always used to get enchiladas. Like that was my go-to before I was in an eating disorder.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I just remember you always like, and when you were eating it, you'd never like finish it. And you were always like, you always looked like kind of like eating it like it was kind of gross. You didn't like it. And I was just like, why is she eating it?
I did not like the taco salads.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. And you would like get them every single time.
Oh my God. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe some of you know someone who's going through this. Now you have perspective for somebody who saw it. But also like these things go under the radar so easily. Like she didn't know that I had anything diagnosed until like a year ago maybe.
Yeah.
Like last February.
It was like, yeah, like you told me and I was just like, I could obviously, now that I like thought back through the memories, I'm like, wow, like I definitely noticed that, but like I genuinely didn't know. Until,
no one in the family knew. Super crazy. Okay, Lucy, well that was all the questions I have. Thanks for letting me interview you.
Of course.
I was gonna see how long I could do it without smiling, but
really weird.
Thanks, Luce.
Of course. Bye.
Okay, so I am hosting a webinar tonight. Some of you might be watching this after you already came, so hello if you were there. But the thing is, I am hosting it right when I usually have dinner. So this is where the self-care aspect of intuitive eating comes in. So because I know that I'm probably gonna get hungry in the middle of the webinar, I'm going to make my dinner earlier than normal, and I'm gonna eat like half of it before the webinar, even if I'm not super hungry, because I know that if I don't eat beforehand that I'm gonna get hungry right in the middle of it, and I don't want that to happen. And then I'll have the other half of it afterwards if I'm still hungry. So I'm gonna whip up some sweet potatoes, some broccoli, I'm gonna bake them in the oven, and then I need to figure out some sort of protein to have with that. So I'll look around in the fridge and see what we have. So these are just some sweet potatoes with some garlic and some salt, really simple. And then I just bake them in the oven for about an hour, and I flip them halfway through that hour. And for the broccoli, it's also like salt and garlic as well as some pepper. So I just throw this in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. I kind of just keep an eye on it until it looks crispy enough for my liking. So while that's cooking, I thought I would just share something that I discovered through intuitive eating. And that is, if I give into a hunger or a craving right away, I actually end up needing less of that thing to feel satisfied. So oftentimes, for example, like when I was hungry right after breakfast, what I used to do is I used to wait till a certain time, till it was snack time or lunchtime, to eat again. And by the time that rolled around, I was so ravenous that I would kind of eat in a sort of a panicky way, and I also would need to eat a lot more to feel satisfied. Rather, if I just ate that snack like I did right after breakfast, I actually feel full all the way up until lunch. So just something really interesting, where if you just give into the craving or the hunger, like as soon as it comes up, you end up needing less food to feel satisfied. That's what I found personally. So I thought I'd share that. Broccoli and the sweet potatoes are done. The steam's kind of getting on the lens. And then I also had this leftover chili that my mom and I made the other night, so I'm just gonna have that on the side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat half of this before my webinar, and then I'll have the other half afterwards. The webinar was so good, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was so much fun. So I'm gonna go celebrate. I'm gonna go for a little walk, call a friend, and then I might have some ice cream after that. There's some Ben & Jerry's Netflix and Chill ice cream, or Netflix and Chilled is what it's called. So I'll have some of that later. This is what I'm talking about. It's so good. If you haven't tried this flavor, please try it. Especially if you're a peanut butter fanatic like me, you will love this. Honestly, I just eat it straight out of the pint because I find that if I'm scooping it into a bowl, I'm more likely to like try and measure it out. And I just got into the habit of not measuring things, so I trust myself to stop when I feel satisfied, and so I have no problem eating out of the pint. Plus, I'm the only one in the house that's eating this flavor. Bless up. All right, well, there you have it. That was my intuitive eating, how I eat in a day. I hope you got something out of it. I hope I vlogged in a way that was coherent for everybody. Again, learning process. But yeah, guys, go ahead and check out my Instagram, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.